had the interview before the set at Teatro Comunale, and now we're talking after. Are you satisfied with the outcome of what happened there?
I had a great time. I think we all had a great time on stage, and to see how the people responded was really, really, really great, because we were really getting into a groove or a mood, and the audience would follow us into our different labyrinth. I was talking about labyrinth before, and yeah, it was a great moment. I'm emozionato, touched.
Well, talking about emotions, we've read that you mentioned Carl Craig as one of your main influences, a sort of musical hero for you. Now you're playing with him, you're sharing several musical projects, and do you feel the weight of responsibility while you're on stage with him?
Sure. But I think the responsibility is sine qua non. Once you set foot on stage, it's your responsibility to do your thing the best way you can. And of course, if Carl's on stage with you, and it's an inspiration more than anything else. It's just that let's do it together. Let's make music together. And but for me, yeah, in the beginning when I started listening to electronic music, I was listening a lot to Carl's music for many years, and I was realizing that the music sort of made something in my way of playing the piano, and of just improvising, building up, just minimal, basically an influence of minimal, the importance of minimalism and minimal music. And Carl definitely has a great responsibility for that. Because of course when I met him it was like, okay, so now what we're gonna do. So we did some music together, and it was really nice.
But when did you meet for the first time?
It was about 6 years ago, in a very informal setting. We just went to hear him with some friends in Holland, driving from Luxembourg, and we went say hi, and he remembered us because we said that we were piano players. I went there with my friend Rami, and then a year later I met him in Barcelona through a common friend who gave him my number, and arriving in Barcelona gave me a call. So we went to have some time together. It was nice.
What I find really astonishing is the fact that you grow up as a classically trained pianist, but at the same time, seeing you playing tonight, I mean, I've seen elements of jazz, I've seen elements of contemporary experimental music, I've seen elements even of funk, soul, some chords reminding me of, I don't know, Roy Ayers. It's really complicated, I think, to run different musical mindsets at the same time while you're on stage. Are you able to manage this in an easy way? Is it coming natural for you, or is it just a matter of trying hard for years and years, and now you have the confidence to mix up all these different languages?
No, I think it's just the way I grew up. I mean, yes, I was at the conservatory, but the way I grew up was not at all in a very conservative, classical way. I mean, my mother listened to a lot of Indian ethnic music, or Pink Floyd, or Puccini for that matter, but a whole bunch of different things. And jazz was important for me because it opened me up to improvisation, and I wanted to become a jazz pianist. I mean, I love to improvise on the jazz standards, the tunes. But then I found that the jazz in its standard form also has its limits. In a way, every music has its limits once you don't go beyond the boundaries. But then I got into electronic music. I said, well, what am I going to do? I play the piano. It's not an electronic music instrument. But then I realized that it was an electronic music instrument because it's, after all, the ancestor of the synthesizer.
Yeah.
Without piano, there would be no Moog. Without Cristofori, who invented the piano. It was a fortepiano, new instrument in the late 1700s. There would be no Moog. So I tried to play also a different way, to make this piano sound a different way, but using it differently. Play inside the strings, play percussion on it. And then when I got into the electronic aspect, adding a whole bunch of effects on top of the piano sound, it's just like searching for the ideal marriage, which is never ideal, of course, a marriage, but between electronic and acoustic music. And I think that's what we did tonight, because we had Davide playing acoustic saxophones, whole range of different saxophones. Bashar playing acoustic percussion, had acoustic piano, had some synthesis going on. But it all moves around the stage, the sound, in a way that you don't really know what sound is coming from what instrument.
Well, now there's one final step left. I mean, you have to start DJing.
Well, I don't have to start. I actually do DJ, and it's something I enjoy doing. I don't do a lot of DJ sets, but occasionally, and it's another way. It's another way of expressing yourself, I think. But for me, being at the base, this is Carl. This is Carl for sure. Being at the basis of music, where you come on stage and there's no sound. You don't put on a record. You don't have any sound that's ready. You have a synthesizer, but you have to program it so that it makes the sound you want. I'm curious. I'm very curious. And when I put on a record, I'm curious about how the DJ set is going to go. But I know the record, so I know what I can do with it. And I don't feel like when I'm on stage with my piano and my instruments and my band, or playing with anybody, it's always a very enriching experience.
Has there been a progression from the first gig you've done with the Shape project and today?
Oh yeah, big progression. It's crazy. I mean, you get 6 people together and you determine no rules. You improvise together and the most different shapes can occur. And in Foligno we had a very intimate sound. It was Moritz's first show after a long time, so for him it was a very emotionally charged and important show. For all of us it was. And Moritz had this stellar moment where he just made the craziest sounds at the craziest moments, and we all followed Moritz in a way that was kind of unique. It didn't go to dance floor, but that was not the mood of the show. So we don't try to force it. Tonight we had good vibe going. So we're like sold out hall, beautiful stage, beautiful hall, beautiful instruments, beautiful band. Let's just rock the house. And so we went out. We went much harder and much, I would say much more rhythmical and. But yeah, I mean, who knows? What's the next show gonna be like? It's gonna be something else. It's no limits.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. All right.